I'm really pleased that the Growing on the Front Line course is going okay, I think. And I'm particularly pleased that Durrington is a little bit ahead of the curve, in the sense that this is from the London Institute of Contemporary Christianity. And I said before, I don't see why I should stay in London, because the stuff that's in here is really good, and it's very good for the Durrington Institute here. And I hope that you're going to share now. I just wanted to say about this course. Let's have a look at people sharing and how things are going. Don't bother to share if it is not going to be well. But if you think that you're getting something out of this, just a couple of people maybe to share. But I want to start with an article that came out this week from Christianity magazine that Shirley's going to read to us. And it's about a civil servant. Because this is very much the same line as what we're doing. They're not my notes.
Sorry? Does anybody have any reading glasses? Yes. Why have you...
I'm just saying, everyone's glasses.
I used to sit with his glasses and I'll just read you the article, okay? It's called The Civil Servant, Like God is Money. My name is Catherine Ladd and I'm a communication manager within the civil service, working on campaigns relating to criminal justice. I studied English at university and I love exploring how and why we tell stories. During my first job working for an MP, I became convinced that good government matters hugely to God. Those experiences led me to search for a role that combines both professions. The civil service is a great place to work as a person of faith. It encourages people to bring their whole selves to work. I often pray for decisions and meetings in the day ahead and ask for wisdom and sensitivity. I'm open about my faith, and the members of my team ask me about the impact of faith on my work and life. In criminal justice, I see the best and the worst of human nature, and I'm deeply motivated by a God who is totally committed to putting the world to rights. The organisation I'm part of plays a crucial role in delivering justice, acting on behalf of those facing challenging circumstances. I see myself as carrying a large watering can. I'm here to help grow the work of others. People often come to us with the seed of an idea or a message they want to get across. I water the seed by developing a communications plan for the campaign. I always seek to do my best whether I'm making a big project or editing a runner in the staff magazine. I've picked up some intense working patterns at university, but early on in my career I was reminded I have a role to play in shaping office culture. If I email out of hours, others will feel they should do the same. I clamped down on that and now try to model a healthy approach to work and rest. I've also sent brownies to colleagues in the post, share cups of tea, suggested walks and have ice cream with people. I go out of my way to acknowledge the contributions of others. One of my colleagues got a qualification on top of his day job, so I led a session on celebrating success as a cover for a surprise party. It was good to say to a member of staff, we love having you here, and we want to recognise what you've achieved. Please pray for me in the coming year as I'm involved in the delivery of some significant and organisational changes. Pray that I will plan carefully, or with those I will be alongside and communicate effectively.
Thanks, Shirley. Now, there's a lady who's on the front line. Her faith is on the front line with her. My kind of message this morning started in the kitchen earlier on because I was talking to Jane and I said, you might be interested in that because that's the sort of work that Jane's involved in, civil service. and how that lady brings her faith to bear in the similar way that Jane was saying, that she needs to bring her faith to bear with the people she comes across. So if anyone wanted to share something about what stuck out for them, just very briefly, because we reached a kind of halfway point, almost a third of the way through the course. And it's good to see how things are going. Have you are you a watering can? She sees herself as a watering can for various things in God's name. Are you carrying your watering can? Has it affected anything for you since you've been doing this course? Are you bringing the meaning of things? Doesn't always work. Anyone want to share something very quickly? Yeah, come on.
Right, I don't want you to think I'm anything special because I'm not. Right? Let's get that again first. Because he's in trouble. We've now done 2 weeks at this study and we're really enjoying it. And on Thursday, I had wonderful experiences. I was setting up for putting the notice out for the food banks. I was on duty desk. And this lady came along with a really shaggy dog. I've never seen a dog like it before. It had dreadlocks. I've never seen a dog like it before. And apparently it came from Hungary. And she was lovely. And she was in kind of in her 40s. And we had a chat. And I said, lovely to talk to you, but I must go now because we're setting up a food bank. She said, oh, I'm so glad you're here. She said, because I wondered how I could help. Can I bring staff to you for other people? And I went, yes, that would be lovely. Do come in anytime you like. We're here on Thursdays. Or if you really want to, do it on Mondays, then just go to the parish church. No, I'll come here. So I said, thank you, that's really good. I'm so pleased I've met you. She said, thank you very much. I thought, oh, so I wrote that in my little book when I got home. But we had quite a busy time at the food bank, didn't we, Deb? And obviously I can't tell you anything about these people, but we had one new lady who's only in her 30s, and she's had to leave where she lived originally, and she's come into Wilford Village. I think how much that's fine. And she is lonely, and she's pretty young, and so we made her welcome, gradually gave her tea, and sorted out her food. And then Debs and I started writing on the back of one of our magazines. So we've introduced her to people in Wilford. We've introduced her to the minister at Wilford through this. We've introduced her to the coffee morning they have once a month in Wilford. We've also introduced her to the cheerful cuppa. And everything is on the back of our booklet. And so hopefully she will read that. And so we thought that was pretty cool when we did read those. So that's how our free plans work.
Fabulous, that's a bit of a watering can, isn't it? Mine. Thanks a lot for that. It may not sound massive, but it's going to have an effect. Anyone else will quickly share? William's going to.
I think the one that we did this week about that lady who was going to school and picking up the kids and it was all rush. It's got me thinking, and it's sort of a process that I'm going through to sort of work out what I'm doing, or things that I'm doing. And I find that at work I tend to get very impatient. I like to get the job done, work with other people who do things differently. So I've got a friend, a guy, Portuguese guy called Louis, who's just started as a carpenter, and I've got to, we're working together, but he's an interesting chap. He talks non-stop the whole time, anyway, but he's really keen, and but I found myself being rather impatient with him, on Friday particularly, just in a couple of areas, and so part of it is I think my communication isn't what it should be, and I need to, anyway, the point that I want to make is that I feel the most challenge me in that area, and I'm trying to work out, how I can be better in witnessing and just being fruitful in that area.
Thanks, William. Examen prayer is interesting, isn't it? Because it makes you think about the day you've had and bring that before you. but actually at the full Lord. And also it can be used over in advance as well. I found that I knew what sort of day I was going to have yesterday, because it's the day I go for a haircut. And usually coincides with the leader's prayer meeting. And I knew that I was going to go to the barber's yesterday, and my prayer time in the morning, I used that example prayer. And sure enough, I had a conversation with Giuseppe, listen, and it led to me talking about forgiveness, redemption, and all those sort of things from nowhere, really. Because he said, "You're a religious man. What do you make of some situation that needed a lot of forgiveness and redemption? What do you make of all this sort of thing?" I said, "No, I'm not a religious man. I'm a Christian. I have faith in the Lord." But it went on from there. You never know. If you know this, it's going to be a tiny little thing that you've got to make good use of it. Where the Lord gives you a way in. I wanted to share with you now. It's good, really, because we're in little groups and we don't always get to hear what everybody else is doing. But I wanted to share with you just a picture of how these sessions go. We have done, when we have done sessions 1, 2, 3 and 4, we would have done these things. We've done how God can help us grow in everyday cases and situations through our experiences there to make us more like Jesus. Well, we have some examples of that today. And then the next ones are how the choices we make affect the fruit we do or don't bear, and that's what last week was about. And then today, what lies beneath the choices that we make, these lies about hearts. And today's intro on that takes a very, very well-known Bible story, which everybody will know. Our job on a Sunday really is just to make sure everyone's familiar with the story, but I've got dead easy to say because everyone will say that they are familiar with this story, because it's the parable of the Good Samaritan. When I was a teacher, I was a tutor first of all to sort of year 8 or whatever they were in those days, and you had to sort of do an assembly once in a while. The kids used to love doing the parable of the Good Samaritan because it meant you could go on the stage and beat people up. Fabulous. Well, they always wanted to do that. And it's a very well-known story, hopefully even today, that Jesus told. Well, we're going to see how well you know it. And if you go on, David. Just before that, when we do the second half of the course, it goes on to how God helps us to grow, and those are the sort of things that's going to happen in the second half of the course. Working with God to grow in maturity, pushing our roots deeper and growing in freedom from unchecked desires and responding fruitfully. Just so you've got a pattern of how these sessions work. Anyway, David, the next thing. This is the parable of the Good Samaritan. Well, what I want you to do is tell me when you see a mistake and what should it be. So this is like, not the New International Version, but the New Wrong Version. Okay, just shout out, someone shout stop if you've got a better suggestion. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test the balance.
Stop.
Stop, yeah, I'll stop.
Jesus.
Jesus, test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit loads of money?
No.
Eternal life, I heard down there, well done. What is written in the newspaper? He replied.
Scripture.
Yes. You got a better suggestion?
Scripture.
Okay. How do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your liver. Heart, okay. With all your soul. With all your weakness. And with all your mind. And love, might. Jesus replied, "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to please himself, so he asked Jesus, "Anyone want to stop me there? What did he do? He wanted to... Anyone got any idea? Thank you. Someone's got the answer book down there. That's cheating. And so he asked Jesus, "And where is my neighbour?" Next page.
And can we say it's the Samaritan, not Samaritan?
Oh, that's true. In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Salisbury Carrington when he was attacked by wasps. Rollers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half-cut.
Dead.
A tramp happened to be going down the same road.
No.
Okay. And when he saw the man, he passed by on the outside.
That's the other side.
So too a man in Levi's came to the road. A man in Levi. When he came to the place, he saw him pass by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as she travelled, he came where the man was, and when she saw him, she took notice of him. She went to him and bandaged his mouth up, pouring on oil and vinegar.
No, that's Sting.
That's Sting, yeah, wouldn't it? Any suggestions what it should be? Wine. Which is a kind of vinegar, isn't it? But not carrot. Then he put the man on his own camel, brought him to a hospital, and took no notice of him. Next one. Let's not twist the word of God. If you go down the page, when it's sorry. Next week, he took out £2. No. Gave them to the bystanders. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Okay. Which of these 6 do you think was a relative of the man who fell into the hands of strangers? It's not relative, what is it? Neighbour, yeah. The expert in the law replied, "The one you had a laugh at him." Yeah. Jesus told him, "Go and do something." Right. Linda, will you read out the correct version? Here it is, coming up.
On one occasion, an expert in the law stood to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. And love your neighbour as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this, and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbour?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he travelled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him.
Okay. The Lord does his work. Okay. Samaritan, not Samantha. actually, that word, that person, that Samaritan, made me think a little bit. And I'm trying to think of what would be the equivalent today. So, let's look at the Samaritan. On the left side, these will go one by one. This is a little bit of history lessons, so you can understand about where these Samaritans came from. You remember that Israel was divided into two countries in one kingdom. In the north there's 10 tribes, which are called Israel, and in the south there's 2 tribes, which are called Judah. Clear? Now the capital of the north is Samaria, okay? As in where the Samaritan. And the capital of the south is Jerusalem. Clear? The king of the north is Jeroboam. The king of the south is Rehoboam. Rehoboam and his army go to war against Israel to reunite. So they're the same people who are fighting each other. Jeroboam sets up idols for alternative worship in places called Dan and Bethel. And then eventually Israel in the north falls to the Assyrians, and they start intermarrying with these Assyrian people. And the Jews started regarding Samaritans as dogs and half-breeds. They had a common heritage, but they developed in different ways. You might say, they might have thought the only good Samaritan is a dead Samaritan. Because they didn't worship in the same place, they didn't worship the same God, they weren't even under the same king. And I bet the feeling was mutual. I suppose if you were looking for equivalents today, you might say in football terms, it was a bit like Liverpool and Everton. We're kind of like, well, all Liverpoolians, aren't they? They hate each other. Or Oxford and Swindon. Or Manchester United and Manchester City. And Rangers and Celtic, exactly. Not about football today, anyway. But it's like, it's all the same game they're playing, but they are at each other's throats. Well, that's the passage we've got this week to look at. And what is it going to teach us about our desires and what it's like to be on that front line? You know the passage, make sure you read it. It's in Luke 10 beforehand, and thank you for everybody who shared as well, that's great. And let's keep going on our front line.